Welcome to the Explainer. Hey, have you ever finished a super busy day, stared at your cash drawer, and just wondered, okay, how do I make sense of all this in Bigledger? Well, if that's you, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to cut through all that confusion and show you precisely where to find the settlement reports you need. So, picture this, right? It's the end of a long shift, the drawer is stuffed with cash, you've got a pile of card receipts, and you've taken payments from what feels like a dozen different mobile wallets. Trying to sort all that out can feel like a real headache, but I promise you, Bigledger has the tools to make it simple. You just got to know where to look. All right, so here's our game plan for today. We're going to kick things off with a key definition, just to make sure we're on the same page. Then I'll show you the two main places where all your reports live. After that, we'll dive deep into the two most important reports you'll be using every single day, the Z Report and the Cashier Collection Report.
Okay, first things first. Before we can even start hunting for reports, we really need to get clear on a word you're going to see all over the system, and that word is settlement.
It's actually super simple. A settlement method is just how a customer pays you. That's it. Whether they hand you cash, tap their credit card, or scan a QR code on their phone, the system sees each of those as a unique settlement method, and it tracks them all separately. All right, now we know what we're looking for. So let's get to the main event. Where do these reports actually live inside of Bigledger? And the good news is, it's not complicated. Everything is neatly organized into two main locations. You can think of them as your two reporting dashboards, the POS General Applet and the Daily Cashier Report Applet. So let's talk about that first hub, the POS General Applet. Now this is your command center, right? It's where you're making sales all day long. But it's also got some key reports built right in for those quick, on-the-fly checks you need to do. And right inside this one applet, you've got 3 essential reports right at your fingertips. You can pull up a list of every single sale, you can get a really detailed line-by-line breakdown of your payments, or you can grab a high-level summary for a quick pulse check. But when it's time for that serious end-of-day balancing, the stuff you need for your financial records, that's when you'll head over to the second hub. This is the Daily Cashier Report Applet, and it is built specifically for that job. Now let's dive into that second hub and take a look at the most important end-of-day report there is. The one your finance team is absolutely going to love, the Z Report. And finding it? Couldn't be easier. You just pop into the Daily Cashier Applet, you click on the Z Report, and then you just filter it by your branch and whatever date you need to look at. Simple as that. The real magic of the Z Report is how clean and simple it is. It gives you this perfect summary of everything you need for a daily sign-off. Your total collections broken down by payment type, any discounts you gave out, your net sales, even your total transaction count. And best of all, you can export it to a PDF with a single click. That is the perfect way to put it. This isn't just some random report. It's the final authoritative receipt for your entire day's work, all wrapped up in one neat package. So the Z Report is awesome for that big picture view. But what happens if you see a number that looks a little off? How do you see the individual transactions that actually make up that summary? Well, that's where our next report comes into play. This is the Cashier Collection Report, and it breaks everything down for you line by line. See here how the first document, POS-001, actually has 2 different entries? That's because it was a split payment, 10 in cash and 10 by bank transfer. This report catches that kind of detail perfectly. I love this way of thinking about it. If the Z Report is your final receipt from the store, the Cashier Collection is the super detailed, itemized list that shows every single thing you bought. So now that we've seen both of these really powerful reports, let's just put them side by side. I want to make it absolutely crystal clear when you should be using each one. So here's the bottom line. You use the Z Report for your high-level summary. It tells you what you collected. But when you need to dig in and figure out how you collected it, or find out which specific transactions are involved, that's when you need to drill down with the Cashier Collection Report. Okay, so let's lock in those key takeaways. Just remember this. You've got 2 main reporting hubs. Use the Z Report for that big picture summary, and use the Cashier Collection Report when you need to investigate the details. That's your whole toolkit right there. And really, that's what this is all about, isn't it? Knowing how to use these reports isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about ending your day feeling confident and turning what could be a confusing mess of transactions into a clearer, understandable picture of your business. So that leaves us with one final thought. With these tools in your hands, you're not just counting money anymore. you're actually equipped to understand the story your sales data is trying to tell you about your customers, about your products, about your business. So, what will you discover?